Okay, I'll have to shout loudly. So can you all hear me?
Yes.
So massive thank you for everybody who's come here tonight. There's just so many very good friends here who've contributed to the artwork tonight. And some people I've not met before, so welcome everybody. So just for you to know, we haven't stopped all week literally to the wire to get this up. And I've not written a speech, you'll be relieved to know. But there were a few things I wanted to kind of get across, so I'm just going to try and think on the spot here. So what you see tonight, you'll have already read the blurb, but it's Art and Mind. It's a project that about 10 of us worked on over several sessions, but they were spread out over months. And the topic was mental health, and we used cardboard and recycled materials, and we just saw what we could make, and that's all down at the end. And then throughout the building, we've got over 1 year's work from the art club, and also some other collaborative work. There's some work that I do with Ukrainian refugees. There's one piece where just a bunch of us got together, about 10 women. A lot of them had not met before. Most of them had not done the art before, and we made something. A lot of this work has been made by a lot of people who have not done any art before. And some people have come in here with terrible stories of experiences at school. And excuse me if I'm going to mention your story here, but there's a few things that I've heard. Things like your artwork being screwed up and being put in the bin. I'm told that sky can't be green. You know, of course it can be green. One person who told me that she had to read in her art class because she was told art wasn't for her. And I just hear so many of these stories, and it's awful. What I believe in is that everybody is an artist, everybody is creative, and I guess I'm on a mission to try and help people see that and find the freedom to create without judgment, to let go of worrying what something looks like. And when people do let go, what they create is amazing, really amazing. And I'm regularly astounded by what people can produce. When you go down to the end, you'll see this big sculpture. This was made in 2 hours, not even 2 hours, by several people at the art club on Monday night. I didn't know what we were going to make. I just said there's a load of cardboard. I want it tall. And the topic I thought would be the mind, like the thinking of the mind. And everybody just got stuck in, and that's what they made, which I think is really incredible. I hardly did anything. I tied up the dogs that somebody else had made. That was it. So this is mostly other people's work. I just wanted to say a little bit about mental health as well. It's through the art that I've come to realise that so many people are really struggling with what's in their mind and their life and what they're having to carry. And you have no idea when you talk to these people, you really have no idea. And it takes a long time for that to come out and people to share that with you. But it's just huge. There is, mental health epidemic. We hear about it all the time. And I came back to art because I was burnt out, and it was incredibly healing for me, and so many things. I healed much quicker having an art practice and time for art practice, and really that's what I want to share with people. And I'd just like to say one more thing, is that what is going on in the world at the moment is so difficult for so many of us. And so I'd just like to acknowledge that. There's been days recently when I've struggled with what's going on, struggle to come in here. It's been so heavy. But when I come in here and we get together, we start making things, it gives us all strength and hope, and really that's what I think we can achieve from building creative communities together. So I think I've said enough. I'm going to pass over to Dr. Sarah Wollaston. Huge honour to have her come today because I know she's got a really busy schedule. She's chair of NHS Devon and also vice chair of One Devon, which is an organisation which provided a grant to help me do the mental health project. So I'll hand over to Sarah, and thank you very much. There's going to be questions at the end, Kim.
I just want to say at this point, 3 cheers for whatever your name is.
Mention them at the end, but Kim is one of them, so she's forgetting my name, you know why. So, pass it over to Sarah.
Well, thank you. How can I follow that? This is such a happy place, isn't it? You walk in, it puts a smile on your face, you feel the warmth, the community and the passion and that inclusion for everybody. And like you were saying, I had that feeling about sports teachers though, not arts teachers, but we all have that experience of saying that this isn't you. And of course what you show and you live is that art is for everyone. And so thank you. I'd like to just echo that for what you do and what you bring. I'm a clinician by background. I was a GP for many years and now through a little diversion through politics, I then came back to the health service during the pandemic and saw all the isolation that brought and the real trauma that people went through. And as you say, we're living in very difficult times at the moment, and we do need this in our lives. But what has always struck me about health is only a little tiny bit of health is what happens in hospitals and healthcare. The vast majority, over 3/4 of what makes us healthy, is way beyond that, as you know. It's those experiences we have, the environment that surrounds us, our communities, whether we have housing, our education, the exposure to trauma. And I know that art is about not just preventing those problems, but also helping people to heal, as you have said, Jamila. But that goes way beyond the art that we know within healing environments. Anyone who spent time in hospital, and I spent 6 weeks in a hospital ward once, and it's not a healing environment, is it, in the healthcare setting? So it's what we can do to bring art to every aspect of our lives, both through the prevention and right through to that healing communities. And so I was really delighted that we were able to support what we do. And here's the evidence of it all around you, because you make those connections, and those connections grow. People hear about what you do, and they walk in here and they can feel it and see it. So it's remarkable, and I'm really grateful. I feel incredibly honoured to have been invited to see what you do. And all over Devon, there are examples. I'm a trustee of a wonderful charity called Landworks. Have any of you been to Landworks? So you'll know, I would encourage everyone to visit. You walk in there, and this is an organisation that works with people with terrible experiences of trauma who've been trapped in the criminal justice system, one of the most poisonous environments you could ever experience. And people who have been in that system, often in that revolving door of the criminal justice system, they use art to help people to reconnect and explore. And so I think that there's a huge amount more we could do in the health service to say it's not just about treating the damage, it's about helping us to prevent it in the first place. And I see this very much as part of that. So I found it personally incredibly inspiring coming here tonight, and the future. Thank you.
So much. Thank you. I'm going to invite Penny Calvert to say a few words. Penny, can you introduce us, tell us what it is you do? Because I'm really curious about your role. Penny contacted me, she heard about the evening, and it seemed very relevant to what you're looking at the moment.
Oh, I feel like you're on your gatecrasher. I drove to Devon yesterday from Wiltshire, so totally understand rural settings. Completely with you on that. My official title is Creative Health Associate, and I work for the National Centre for Creative Health. Creative Health is the kind of I won't say the latest label, but it's the kind of accumulation of probably now 4 decades of arts helping people's lives and gradually gathering momentum. So I think the first thing I wanted to say is that projects like these and people like Jamila and people who've taken part, you're not alone in discovering this is meaningful to you and it matters to you. The problem is that there's lots of these amazing little beacons of fabulous work happening and they're not very joined up. Mostly because you're so busy getting on with it. Who the hell's got the time to think about, who should we network with, who should we contact, how do we stand up and make people notice that this really matters? Because if people realise it matters, more people are with you, there's more people to ask for more. Nobody would think twice of asking to set up a new football club for some children or maybe a book club for older people. It's like a social norm. It kind of feels like, well, of course you would. Or there's a cancer treatment centre down the road and they're asking for money for some art sessions. Well, yes, of course. It's kind of like, as a society, we kind of think, well, yeah, of course that's normal. Yes, let's have that. But somehow we've divorced the arts and culture and medicine from themselves in adult care. If you go into a mental health hospital, it should be normal there to find that they've got poetry, photography, creative writing, because it's part and parcel of helping people unpack what's going on for them, helping them understand themselves, helping clinicians better get to know the human being and being able to understand, okay, that part is the human being and this part is the mental illness getting a little bit out of control. So it helps with all that diagnosis. But over in medicine, over in community care, it's like you feel like you're waiting to fall off the end of the cliff before you get picked up, and even then when you feel like you get picked up. So it feels like there's a big gap, but actually the work is out there. My role is to help gather up, to kind of like to understand what you've all experienced and taken part in that project, bottle it, and then try and convince more of the healthcare centre. Not Sarah. Sarah's obviously a believer. We like Sarah, but there's a lot of non-believers, and that's because they're charged with delivering social care, healthcare that is the best value for the public purse, that is consistent, equitable, dependable, safe. And in healthcare and health sciences, a lot of that safety comes with lots of regulations and lots of research and lots of rules. And it's like, we just want to make a tree out of cardboard. Is that the unsafe bit? Maybe there's a knife to cut the cardboard, but yeah, because we're wanting to promote the use of health money or the adoption or the recognition for the value of creativity in keeping people's lives healthier, we're somehow coming up against that same barrier to, well, clinical trials please, evidence please, research please. So what I'm trying to find is the common language. When people say, what's this new job you're doing? I'm like, okay, imagine you're watching a French film and there's no subtitles. You kind of know what's going on, but you're not quite sure what's actually being said. And it's like over here with the teams who've got these really difficult positions. How do you spend not enough money to look after this enormous population in Devon? How do you look after 1.2 or 1.7? What are we looking at? Which area? 1.3 million people, and here is your pot of money that's a third smaller than it was last year. Do better and do it on time, do it on budget. So all those people with those difficult problems are feeling the absolute pain of, knowing they've got to make decisions that might cause harm because they can't give everybody what they need. And over here we've got amazing pockets of work doing great things with tiny amounts of money, and but because both sides don't talk to each other, over here people are feeling like, oh, I've got this awful decision to make, how on earth am I going to meet this target? Whereas in fact it's being met right here in this space with a fraction of the cost. And it's about us as a team of national reps trying to gather information of where it has been gaining ground, where it has got really good sponsors higher up that are sort of saying, come on, let's be braver, let's stop being so rigorous, and when there's no need for that amount of safety net. And sharing that and spreading the word and helping Jamila and all the people who've made those amazing pieces. And by the way, whoever made the seascape in, you know, get under the net, put the sound on the sea. I want to make that home message. That's what we're trying to do, is can we help people doing the work find the right language that people making health decisions can actually understand? Can we help people measuring things over here in Healthland think about, are you measuring it because you can measure it, or are you measuring it because it needs to be measured? And can we get you to think slightly differently too? Can we meet in the middle somewhere? We've got this big gap. Are we making a rope bridge? Are we getting the engineers in and doing a metal bridge? How are we going to meet? Are we getting a flotilla, a meeting in the middle? How should we meet? What should we do about this? Because it shouldn't carry on with both sides being stranded and alone. It should be, how do we get some more rocket fuel in this?